Let your curiosity rise.
Mad Bricks Webcast,
Where the human spirit flies. Mad Bricks Webcast, where the human spirit flies.
Hey, welcome to the Medbix webcast. This is Ramana Annam Raju. I'm the host. I am in a hotel. The internet is not that may not be that good. My lighting may not be good. I was kind of a little bit of a going through a little bit of a interesting things. Stressful day, long day today. I want to be honest with you. We are humans, I think. Um, I, I the main one. We are humans around the world, around the universe, about spirituality, and we are misusing it we are using against each other. We are using against putting other people down. This is a one. If you go to a moon and you look at from the moon to the earth, that's what a beautiful planet. They need to get along. The humans like ants walking around want to kill each other. What kind of system we are in? We need to re-evaluate a little bit. And that's why science is the best way to understand this thing. Not a race, not a religion, not even politics. I think science and philosophy, art, these are things will give you expand your mind, and we understand each other better. This is my honest opinion. To answer that question, one of my best friend, and she is a long time friend. One of the first appearances on the podcast, and she's a dear friend. And my boyfriend, fiance, is also closest friend. Steve Chainani. We're all to go all the way back together. She is the Cristina is there always whenever I need it. Cristina Spataro is a psychotherapist. She is a wonderful talker. Let me bring her to the table. Cristina Spataro.
Wow, thank you for that intro, Ramana. I hope you know I value your friendship too. Very, very
Yeah,
much. Thank you for
eh,
that. You're a
thank you.
sweetheart. I appreciate that.
We know each other for a long time. Your
Yes.
hairstyle looking good. You
Ooh,
are
thank
really Steve is changing your life a little bit. Um, Let me ask you, why this I was frustrating about it. Why humans, when you see from the other planet, we're
Mhm,
all one laws of physics run our system.
mhm.
Why we want to put other together? How do we exploit other people? How to take care of other? Why we became descending into the lowest quality than going to the higher quality?
The simplest answer is we've allowed fear to take over. When we operate out of fear, then we're operating, I need, oh no, I can't let this person have this, then I won't have it. And when you're operating from a fear-based mentality, it
Mm,
brings out the worst in us because remember, we have this whole flight, fight, freeze thing. This is
yeah,
our ancient brain, and it's really designed to protect us from danger. But when we live our lives in a sense of constant danger, then we are not operating from a place of love. We're operating from a place of fear. We operate from a place of fear. We don't make room for other people. We don't make room for compassion. We don't make room for empathy for other struggles because we're only seeing our own. So I think with different events and things that have happened, many people are operating from a fear based perspective. When you embrace spirituality, when you embrace all that you can be, it actually helps eliminate the fear because you're recognizing your world is much bigger than
yeah.
whatever you're hearing here or seeing there, that your world, your purpose, even when difficult things have happened to us,
Mm.
it is part of a larger picture. I have known my own struggles in life. I've lost people I've loved dearly, and it's hurt. but I also recognize that through that pain, I've also loved very deeply, and I'm grateful for the gift to have loved those people and that love goes on, and that I can share that love with other people and help them through their struggles. So I have found my healing in loving others, and a lot of the work I do is helping people find their healing.
You know, Christina, if you ask me what is my beautiful memory,
Mhm.
I travel, in the United States extensively. I
Mhm.
dealt with doctors. I saw richness. I did best food in the world. I interacted with the Nobel laureates and all of those people. One thing I still cherish in my life is my father in small village
Mm.
where maybe
Mhm.
he is there, taking me in a bicycle. That memory is so powerful to me. That
Mhm.
feeling, it is really gives me goosebumps and an emotional thing. The life is not all materialistic. It is
Mhm.
some memory that is beautiful. My father doesn't have all the richness, but
Mhm.
he gave so much to people, in
Mhm.
that villages, no doctors. He provided
Mm.
care for all of them. You know, I am, I'm from Georgia. I
Mhm.
lived in most of my life in Georgia. So, in
Mhm.
the rural towns. I used to place doctors in Georgia. There's some of the towns in Georgia don't have a OBGYN doctors. There is no
Mhm.
cardiologist. I took from under the special program called J1 Visa program. I took
Mhm.
them and put them in rural area. I was doing also diagnostics. There is a
Mm.
woman, she doesn't even know seventh month that she is going to have a twins in
Wow.
our stage. So when we did the ultrasound, we found out. So we are what this all this such an advanced country, we are not providing such a basic things. We get
Mhm.
into this mess. She's a rural Georgia white woman, doesn't matter white or
Mhm.
black, it is Spanish. Humans are all need those purpose and then do the
Absolutely.
right things. It is becoming, I don't know where we are becoming, people
Mhm.
or monsters, we don't know yet.
Mhm. I think each of us has the ability to be a great monster or a loving human being. We have that within us, and we get to decide what we're going to be because sometimes life kicks us around a lot. And I think people who are operating from a place of a lot of pain, again, when it goes back to the fear and the pain, that's where they're operating from. And it's understandable if you've been through trauma. For people with trauma, many of my clients have gone through trauma, and it's really hard to see the good on the other side of that and to see the good in ourselves. But when we can actually use that experience to just expand and not be monsters, but be people who truly embrace the world and all that's in it. And I am an optimist. I think we can
Yeah,
go there.
yeah. That's why optimism is only one thing. I have a co-host, name is Susan Davis. She's a
Mhm.
very optimist. She thinks that all these things, don't waste your time, and thinks to do things, create things, do things.
Mhm.
That's what I focus on. I don't.
Mhm.
Sometimes I go to my lowest quality there. There was a woman. I don't want to mention. I never met her.
Mhm.
We became friends on the podcast, and she came on
Mhm.
my podcast several times. Very well respected, everything. But she has this problem is that she hates her mother. She hates her sister.
Ah.
And then
Mhm.
then she that's truly that she uses that word, hates her mother.
Mhm.
And then she creates a fake profile. We became a friends, and
Mm.
we loved it. We're calling each other 4 o'clock, and then she turned around and created fake profiles from England and other places, some kind of a cult that she wants me to recruit. She
Oh
wanted
my
me,
gosh.
yeah, very strange cult kind of thing she's trying to recruit. And then I rejected it, and she got
Yeah.
mad, and then talked, what, these people are that pain, as you say, that
Yeah.
rejecting of a mother, rejecting a
Mhm.
father, or something pain,
Oh, a lot of pain there.
that distribute everywhere.
Yes.
Distribution everywhere.
Yes.
That they won't tell you, and then uh, it. We would been talking 4 o'clock in the morning.
Mhm.
I thought she's good. She needs to be, but she's good in everything else. But
Mhm.
that other side, flipping side, is just unbelievable. You
Yeah,
know,
there's too much pain there.
she taught me good things too. And same
Mhm.
time, when there's pain comes, I think she becomes this. They become these people. We all,
Wow.
when our pain becomes our center, fear and pain becomes
Yes.
central part of it. We become a different
Yes.
people. I think we
I
need to
absolutely.
tell us a little bit about the Christina. Um, we we are right now going through a country,
Mhm.
divisions after division, black, white,
Mhm.
yellow,
Mhm.
brown, good people. In my view, there's only two classifications: good
Mhm.
people, bad people, good and evil. There is no
Mhm.
there's, according to Bible, according to any religion,
Mhm.
there's two classifications. That's solid.
Mhm.
Who are the people who advances it, who
Mhm.
protects life itself? They're
Mhm.
good people. Who
Mhm.
destroys the life is the bad people. That's simple. We are
Yeah.
going through different things. You look different. I look different. You do this way. I do that way.
Mhm.
Why you became this kind of a lowest denominator we go?
Mhm. Again, I think it's, who we are is a combination of, we come in here, with our own feelings, thoughts, stuff, and then our environment then influences us. But we get to choose how we respond to that.
Yeah.
So when we respond in a way and we let the anger take over and we let the bitterness take over and we let the hatred take over, then we can go to a very dark place,
Yeah.
And but again, and I really hesitate to judge people because again, you can't know someone's pain unless you've been in their shoes. But some people, it's so much pain, and I see it in my work all the time. People who are in so much pain, and I'm always thought to this client who I still think on her, and when I first started working with her, she was in a massive amount of pain, a lot of anger, a lot of just hating people around her and just fighting everyone because there was a lot of pain based on what she'd gone through, with her family. And we worked together for a while, and when I started to kind of bring the shields down a little bit, because that's what all that was, a lot of that was shields. If I stay angry, if I keep the shields up, nobody can hurt me anymore. And so then we started working together, and when she saw I could actually be somebody that could help her and I wasn't gonna hurt her, I watched that shield come down, and I watched this beautiful person emerge, this
Yeah.
kind person, this person who was always in there, but all that stuff covered it. And when we finished our work together, and she actually thanked me, she's like, "Thank you for seeing the good person in me."
You're a greatest therapist. I tell
Thank
you,
you.
you're an eloquent speaker. I think a lot of times that soothing things can help a lot, and
Mhm.
giving a directions to, you know, uh, for example, I didn't like her in the mix of politics, but somebody wanted to clearly change. I
Mhm.
am a change. We should
Mhm.
accept as a public. Don't question
Yes.
motivations. Don't question. We don't
Mhm.
know the motivations of anybody. But
Right.
one thing is, I'm changed. Welcome. Otherwise, next time they don't want to change.
Well, you absolutely have to make room for the person to grow and to change
Yeah,
because, I do believe that if somebody truly wants to change, they can. If it's a
they can.
heart change. So when somebody has a true heart change, they absolutely can do that. And we make the room for them to do that and we give them the space. Now, if it's a sincere change, it will bear fruit and you will see it in how they treat people, how they act, how they, conduct themselves when other people they say who you are is shown when nobody else is looking, in those
Yeah.
quiet moments. And that also shows the true change too. And absolutely, we give people the space to be that. Just like I gave that client of mine the space to let the guard down and to show that they could be something different. And I believe we can. We give them the space. Now, there are certain extreme cases, like if people have been in an abusive situation and somebody has severely abused them, there are people who are highly manipulative and they will do the apology and it'll never happen again. And they'll say it'll never happen again, and then it happens again. So you have to
Those people
also,
are, you cannot change them, right? Those abused people are abused. Oh my God, it is a
yeah,
life of hell they create to everybody
yeah.
around
So,
them.
so that's the thing. You gotta kind of you hear their
You gotta avoid them.
words.
That's it.
Right. You hear their words, but you pay attention to their actions. For
Yeah.
if somebody really wants to be more loving and changing, they don't then come back and do the same thing to you again and play the same game. So this is where we have to be careful because there are people who are abusive and they will, use that to manipulate. And so it's a tricky thing to do because at our heart, we want to believe if somebody is telling us something, they're sincere and truthful. So you just give it the space to bear fruit, but also pay attention to their actions as well as their words.
Christina, I dealt with a lot of doctors.
Mhm,
They have their own issues. I
mhm,
feel sometimes sorry for them in certain
yeah,
ways. I want to help them. I'm not
mhm,
qualified to help them. But
mhm,
people like you, they need, their egoism, I think, stopping them to go and seek help and get
mhm.
the professional help. I think they
Oh,
need
yeah.
to, yeah, this is a big problem. How do you address that egoism for the people that they need help, but they don't want to go to anybody else.
Well, that's the tricky thing. There still is, although it is much, much better, there is still a stigma when it comes to mental health, where people would rather admit they have a broken leg than admit that they're struggling emotionally. So I think the more we can continue the conversation, and this is why programs such as yours are so important because it's educating people and it's
Yeah.
helping them to understand it doesn't matter if you're a doctor, if you're an accountant, whatever you do, a sales clerk, whatever you do, this world can cause pain and you can be vulnerable and you can need help to get to the other side of it. And there's no shame in that. The
Yeah.
idea that, "Oh, but if I'm depressed or I'm anxious, then somehow I've done something." No, you're a human being who has been hurt by a world that can often be cruel. So I think the more we can destigmatize mental health and help people to see it's okay. It's okay that you need some help getting through this and that there are resources. There is a mental health crisis. There's a lot of people who are suffering who either don't go for help because they're ashamed or they can't find the resources or there aren't enough. So that's why I feel to keep this dialogue open and help people to understand there are people that care about you, people who want to support you, and people who will get you through this.
Some people are seeking in AI, artificial intelligence,
Mhm.
psychosis. I
Mhm.
think it is a very strange situation we are in. What
Mhm.
do you think of that kind of help is driving in both ways. Either you commit suicide or in this AI, or you do the doing the best for you and encourage you. What
Mhm.
is that help? It is becoming a part of this everybody's life now. How do you define that as a therapist? Where is the role of therapist in that area? They think ChatGPT is a better therapist than a Christina. Well,
Well, I admit like, I actually have had clients and stuff who told me, "Well, I ran this through ChatGTP, okay? It said this." Now, here's the thing you need to understand. Machines are not human. They are not. And a lot of times, and I actually work with a lot of clients who are programmers, and they've even said this to me. After a while, ChatGTP will regurgitate to you what you have given it. So, for instance, if you write a thing and say, "I was being attacked in this by this person who said this," ChatGPT is going to say, "Yes, it sounds like you were being attacked." And it's funny because if you just change a little bit how you phrase the question, pay attention. It's going to change the response to you.
One of the
Like,
doctors said that do the opposite and still support
yes,
you.
exactly, and still support you. It's always going to give you back a little bit of what you're giving to it. It's like it's a leading of the witness kind of thing. So understand that while I may not be perfect and I am very human, there's no I'm not a robot. I am going to keep it real with you. Like if you're doing something or saying something and it's hurting you, I'm gonna confront you on it. I don't care how much you twist the words. I'm gonna say, "Okay, I hear what you're saying, but I gotta tell you that's not the read I'm getting." Okay? Or like, for instance, when I do couples, counseling and stuff like that, and, I'll hear, like, how this argument went, and, like, one half of the couple say, "Don't you see what they said? They were trying to." Okay, and I could say, honestly, as I'm hearing both sides of it, "Okay, I hear this was said, and I hear that was said, but I feel like you're reading more into what was said than what was actually said.
Yeah.
ChatGTP won't give you that."
Exactly. If you feed the contradictory answer question,
Mhm.
it will give you to support that contradictory answer.
Exactly, exactly. So that's the thing. This is why, Ramana, a machine will not replace me.
Yeah, yeah, I agree with you. Definitely have a job. Let me ask you another aspect of life everybody is going through is a systemic problems in our system.
Mhm,
People are families are struggling and all these
mhm.
things. And
Absolutely.
if there is a struggle everywhere around you, you don't feel. One of the things is these struggles are causing for endless greed, or you know I can give you an example. I don't want to
Mhm,
mention any names, but I tell you, in India, when I was living in India,
mhm,
we had bullock carts, and then radios. Like a small radio is a big thing for us.
mhm.
Our village is at 50 years old. Happiness is very strangely defined. I was happy there, to be honest
Mhm,
with you, with all the luxuries, with everything, with all this technology. Now United States is exporting this greediness to these
mhm,
people, and
mhm,
even they are doing much better than anybody. Let us do more. There is no end to it. When there is a
mhm.
greediness come in everybody's life, it slowly destroys humanness into
Right.
pieces. It is a systemic problem, and
It is.
there is a lack of leaders like John F. Kennedy or
Mhm.
Eisenhower, Abraham Lincoln. These are the inspirational people. Hey, they
Yeah.
do the positive things, inspire you. What one of the things that I remember, ask not what for your country can do for you, ask what you
But
can
what
do
you
for
can
your
do for
country.
your country.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ask what can you do for, Silicon Valley,
Mhm,
Christina, I live
mhm,
here. And then everybody talks about how the good they are do, how much money they
mhm,
made.
mhm.
How, I ask you one question: what you did for? I don't want to listen to your glory. Tell me one thing you did good for other person.
Right.
There's nothing
Well,
to say.
it's the problem is it's like it's what society values, right? Because again, it really does go back to this fear thing. Between social media and everything, everybody's trying to cultivate what they feel is going to be a happy life. So the image of what they think will make them happy. Oh, if I have this status thing or I have this amount of money, then I'll be happy. But I got to tell you, there's plenty of people that have a ton of money, ton of status, and they are miserable
Miserable.
because that really, it's like, and I talk to my clients about this all the time. What you keep at the center becomes when you think of your master that you serve. When it's money, when it's power, that's a master you can never appease. There will never be enough for you to feel fulfilled. But if
Mm.
your center is a spiritual one and you see that, and by the way, there's nothing wrong with wanting to earn money. There's nothing wrong with wanting to think, but it needs to be part of the larger picture of your life.
It
It
does.
cannot be the center of your life because if it's the center of your life, it's going to be the greedy master you can never appease, and there'll never be enough money. You'll never feel safe. You'll always be striving for something, and you won't be happy with what you have.
Gandhi said that we have enough for everybody, but we don't have enough for if we are greedy. If we don't have enough for greed, it's
Yes,
something like that. He said that
that's a
that kind
good
of
quote.
yeah.
Yeah,
So we
because
are
it's
all
true.
the greediness we are seeing everywhere.
Mhm,
That is the one thing that we need to. There are. I think we need to. I mean, not only individual change. There is a
mhm.
systemic change need to be required.
Yes.
Open it, organizational wise, people like you to be well funded and say what are
Mhm,
the good things in life, what are the bad
mhm,
things in life. These
mhm,
need to be across the field, that
mhm.
we have to put the resources, we have to put the
Yes.
money there. We're not doing that.
Yes.
Just leave the people alone, let them
Yeah.
die, let them fight each other.
Mhm.
This is not a country of leadership. I mean, that is not a leadership, is not going to deliver that thing.
Yeah. No, you definitely need, this is why when Jimmy Carter passed away, you saw the outpouring of love at his funeral. You saw the testimonies. You even saw people who had been his political rivals
I met
who
him. I was
honored
sitting
the
next to him
man.
actually on one of the places.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Yeah, because he really was he a perfect man? No, but he led with his heart. And
yeah,
he, I feel, had one of the best post presidencies of anyone. He literally built homes for people. I
yeah.
mean, you can't ask
My
for
daughter
anything
was
more than that.
a Habitat for Humanity. She was a president
Wow.
in college, for a
Yeah.
college in the University of Georgia. I am from Georgia, you see. So I lived most of my life in Georgia. I see, I see suffering with the both whites and blacks.
Mhm.
There's
Mhm.
no reason to be. This is all the plenty.
No.
And then why we need to take care of all these countries. They fight, and then we
Mhm.
keep on spending. We don't
Mhm.
if our well-being is questioned, if our problems, we need to spend
Yes.
on our well-being first.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I think we're not perfect people, but I think we can do better. And this is gonna sound cliche, but we need to start with love.
Is
Approach the
love.
world and people in a loving way, and we can do amazing things.
Quantum physics says that observer has this ability to see. There is nothing to see, but observer has the power that things become real.
Mhm,
There is no electron there, but once you
mhm,
observe it, becomes real.
mhm.
So I think that is our mindset has to be in that direction more.
Yes, exactly. If our mindset is there, then
Yeah.
we can do these things. We can make this world a better place. We can help people who are suffering not suffer so much and not feel alone. That's honestly why I do what I do, to
Yeah.
help people to see a different way and to not feel alone.
I wanted to ask you one more thing is that what do you think of death? People were getting old. I'm getting older,
Mhm,
and everybody's
mhm,
getting older. And some of my seniors, my mentors that I
mhm.
thought all dead.
Yeah.
What do you think of that? Death is gives us. Meaning or what it does. Death, everybody has to die in the
I
cosmic
mean,
time.
yeah, I mean, I think it's how you see death. Sadly, like I said, I've lost
No, and
people
then
I've loved.
and just 1 second, I want to extend that part. If death is a final for everybody,
Mhm.
why we create these stupid rules and fights and everybody does that? What do you think that is supposed to create? uh, Love and compassion, but it is
Mhm.
creating, just another some more deaths, fights and
Yeah.
wars. And what
Mhm.
is that? What do you think that what do you think that mindset?
Again, it's how you see it. It's how you see death. Do you look at the loss as the world is unfair and I'm just gonna be angry? Or do you look at this is a part of the cycle of life and I am going to love as much as I can the people that are with me while they're with me, and when they're not with me, I'm gonna carry on that love. It's how you see it, and it's how you choose to live it, and it's how you choose again, we can't control what happens to us, but we can control how we respond to it and what we do moving forward.
Yeah, love and compassion has to be powerful tools we have to use.
Yes.
That's everywhere. If science is telling us, the human psychology is telling you, therapist is telling you, this is the final. So I what I used to think that one of the thing my co-host telling it keeps me reminding me that, Ramana, there's a million things to complain.
Mhm,
Don't complain. Find solutions. Keep working. So
mhm,
I like that actually. I that was kind
mhm.
of my therapy, and you are
Yeah.
like that too. So you help me like that. So it comes to my mind. People have motivations. That you know some people talk very good game, but their
Mhm.
motivations are bad. This
True.
is this. How do you treat that kind of people? Yeah, how do you react to that? Actually,
You mean the people who are pretending they're good, but they're not doing good?
and then yeah,
So, you know what? You you feel sorry for them, honestly, that
yeah,
they're seeing, okay, you almost got it. You almost got it, that you coulda had the potential to be good, but you
yeah,
still let your fear, your anger, hate, whatever was driving you, you let that
yeah,
take over and you went to the dark place. So honestly, feel sorry for them. Feel sorry that they've allowed their hearts to grow so small when
yeah.
really they can let their hearts grow bigger. They just have to believe it.
Christina, one thing I did with the podcast, and you know me, and
Mhm.
you know me very well. I
Mhm.
became, I never hesitate to help anybody. If they
Mhm.
come to me, I help them. Help hundreds of doctors to settle in this country. Because the green card, J1 visa program,
Mhm.
and then I help us so many people, help them their businesses, advise them, and connect them
Mhm.
together. I'm not expecting, one thing my mother told me, don't expect anything. Life will. One of the
Mhm.
things I found out, the result of that is anybody I call them, they respond my call within 2 hours and they return my call. Okay.
Mhm.
That's a great thing. And these same people who take advantage of the system, they don't,
Mhm.
nobody calls them back and they get
Mhm.
frustrated and they
Mhm.
want to use me to that kind of system. They need to be more open and see that how do you how do you that time I get my frustration a little bit out. I don't
Mhm.
want to be frustrated. I want to be
Mhm.
really good and help people. That's my
Mhm.
goal. And uh, tell me about that. And then and after that, I don't want to present anything. I enjoying the discussion with us.
I'm
Uh, you
glad.
know, yeah, I know you very well, and we'll bring us some Steve. Steve is there. He can join with us in a minute. It is beyond. Uh, I go through these people sometimes, and I wonder, how do I change? I wanted to be a good person and spread the goodness. That's,
Mhm.
I went because of my father.
Mhm.
I went all the way to my hometown. The girl who is working right there is from my home village.
Mhm.
I grew up there. You
Mhm.
know, I have fond memories. That kind of thing.
Mhm.
But let me, you're, one of the things we have to do eventually, spreading the good. But people think
Yes.
kindness is a weakness.
See,
How do
this is
you?
they're wrong. They are
They're wrong, but how
so
do you deal with
wrong.
them? Yeah,
So how do I deal with them? You know what? I'm just going to keep being kind because you know what? When we are kind in spite of the meanness, because here's the thing, people who see kindness as weakness and people who try to tear you down or betray you, because the key is they actually don't believe it. They feel there's an angle or they're suspicious or they think everyone is as messed up as they are. So they want to prove that you're actually not who you say. But you
yeah,
know what? Your best weapon, you don't let them change you. You don't let them hurt
yeah.
that. Like
Beautiful.
I'm holding my joy, I'm holding my love, and stuff may happen, but you know what? You're not taking my joy and you're not taking my love.
Yeah,
Nobody's going to take that from me because that is mine. People will try to stamp out your light, but here's the secret. Nobody can actually stamp out your light. Only you can make yourself dark. So if
yeah.
you don't want to go to that darkness and you don't let anybody take you there, your light can shine bright. And in the darkened room, it only takes a little bit of light to illuminate it.
Thank you. It's a
Mm.
beautiful explanation you gave. Yeah. Another thing is that I wanted to ask you I'm just telling you, I know a lot of billionaires, a lot of rich people.
Mhm.
Sometimes, you know, I they are frustrated. What happened was, I tell you what is going on with them. A lot of these people, the richest people, they became a
Mhm.
billionaires. They one time their knowledge was their one time their knowledge created their money, right?
Mhm.
Became rich. Now they became older and their
Mhm.
knowledge is irrelevant and nobody understands. They didn't update the knowledge. They always think that money is that power. Now the
Mhm.
children come in the picture. I'm seeing
Mhm.
Indian community. They're
Mhm.
fighting for that money,
Mhm.
and they so this money did not solve. It is proved right
No,
there.
didn't solve your problem. You thought
It's
the money would
actually
solve your
added a problem
problem.
now. The children are fighting for that money.
Mm,
Father and same father and mother, they're fighting who is going to get that money.
so
So
sad.
these people are, one of the things I tell, this is the best way to do it in my view. Correct me if I'm wrong. Those people, their best people to be around is their age group, their people they grew up, not
Mhm.
children.
Mhm.
You need to take care of them. You need to make sure that they got education, they got
Mhm.
these things. That's it,
Mhm.
we can do. Nothing else much we can do.
Yeah.
The thing that you need to do is same people that you grew up with, spend time with them because
Mhm.
that is their life around us. Rather
Right.
than rather than just you wanted to be uh, their knowledge and also update the knowledge.
Right.
Knowledge is free. You can gain anything. You don't need
Mhm.
to sit down in 1960s and 70s. You don't need to think about it. You
Mhm.
can keep on learning things. Learning is
Absolutely.
a stress buster in my view. Curiosity
Mhm.
really creates a peace
Oh,
in
yeah.
mind. you know
Absolutely. And
let's talk
learning is
about
a
curiosity.
lifelong thing.
Tell me something about curiosity.
Curiosity. It's when everything interests you, and no
Yeah,
matter how much you learn, you can never learn enough.
yeah,
And it is the greatest gift that we as human beings have. If we can maintain our curiosity, and always see the wonder in the world.
Yeah,
There's
absolutely.
nothing better than that. And, to be a parent is the hardest job you can ever do, but it's actually the most selfless because if you do it right, your role is to actually help them get to a point where they get to live their lives
And become a
and
curious.
exactly. So this is the whole point. And I think sometimes what happens is parents because it's hard when the kid's little, they're your whole world or you're their whole world, but the parents don't understand once they grow up, it's time for them to have their life, and you don't get a say in it. Your say was in raising them, instilling values, and helping them to be whoever they were supposed to be in this world. But once you do that, your role is to actually let them leave the nest, live their lives, and help them just launch them, but let them be. And if you do it right, they will come back, they will be there, they will be a companion, but they cannot be the center of your life, and you can't be the center of theirs because now it is their life to live, not yours.
One of the philosophers said that, the best trait you can give it to your children are
Mhm,
curiosity and then storytelling.
mhm,
You tell the stories, you traits, you pass that.
mhm,
When my children were younger, I'm always scientific guy, I didn't pay attention. But my ex-wife, she was talking about stories with them, talking
mhm,
with them. I did not pay. Now I realize. Now I'm a storyteller, right? Or in
mhm.
scientific storyteller. So I think it's so powerful. The storytelling.
Yes.
It
Oh,
creates a
yes.
curiosity. It is really wonder. As you said that, you see the wonder of the
Oh,
universe, right?
yes. I agree. I'm a storyteller by nature. I'm a writer. I'm a reader. I love movies, and every child I ever worked with, my nieces, nephews, godchildren, I always loved telling them stories. I loved sharing that wonder with them and helping them to just create that. So yes, I believe in the power of storytelling, both to inspire the imagination and to help learn valuable lessons.
So you just use the final words. I'm talk about this, the wonder. Let us talk
Mhm,
about the wonder of life, whatever is remaining part of our lives. That what is
mhm.
how do you create that? See the wonders that really inspire you into the core.
Never lose sight because if you actually like the other day, I was outside and the clouds were so pretty. You just had this beautiful blue and you had the little smattering of white and it's just the beauty of it. See, we get so caught up in this world and we get so caught up in the craziness that we forget if we stop and we look around, there is wonder all around us. And
Mm.
even just in the tiniest things, there
Yeah.
can be wonder. We just have to keep looking for it because if we don't what we look for, we find. What we don't look for, we don't find. So if we actually believe wonder is out there and we're willing to go out in the world, tap into our senses and just let just the beauty of the world hit us, we will always see the wonder, but we have to look for it.
Thank you, Christina. Every time I talk with you, I feel so good. You're one of my first guests. You inspired me, and yeah, very close to my heart. You and
Thank
Steve,
you.
and you're always that one of the best things you talk. I mean, we need a country of people like you to inspire other people, entire generations. Thank you so much
Thank
joining the
you.
podcast.
My
If
pleasure.
Steve is there, say hello to him. Thank you
Yes.
so much for joining with me. It is a wonderful conversation with Christina. Sorry, Susan, we missed you. Sorry that she's busy with some kind of a program there. So my co-host, but
Okay.
she's a wonderful lady. She is
Nice.
really have the inspiration. Just some of the qualities that you mentioned she has. Thank you so much
Nice.
for joining with us.
Thank
Good night,
you.
all of you, sir. Good
Good
night.
night. Thank you
Good
so
night.
much. This was wonderful. Thank you for
Oh,
having me.
thank you so much.
You're welcome.
We are retelling their stories through our patented designs that can be worn on scrubs, t-shirts, printed on conference bags, and endless other promotional materials. Daily Wear for Medicine is the first ever of its kind to create curiosity in medicine through visual art. We at MedBricks are celebrating unsung heroes of the past who made enormous contributions to the field of medicine through our unique campaign called Daily Wear for Medicine. You can wear it, carry it, and give it